everyone. My name is Xavier. 中文名字叫向前，方向的向，乾坤的乾。I am a proud grade 8 student from Yaohua Yizhuang, Beijing. I was originally born from Melbourne, Australia, but here I stand in China. But for a long time, I felt like I didn't belong to either place. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt completely new? Not just new in a place, but new in who you are. In Melbourne, my life was comfortable. I would ride my bike along the Yarra River, chase waves at St Kilda Beach, and have lunch at Melbourne CBD. I had the friends I wanted. I knew what my day would look like, who I was, and my daily rhythm of life. Sometimes we would go back to China and visit our grandparents. I remember in 2023, after COVID, I landed at Capital Airport in Beijing, and I felt that this place was unique. For those 2 weeks I spent in a country of bustling streets, delicious and unique food, and a completely different atmosphere, I slowly began growing fond of China. Back then, I never expected of moving back here permanently. It wasn't until the start of grade 7 that I began thinking about my future, what career I wanted to pursue. And in my mind, I thought, I want to become a game changer. The problem was, I didn't know where or how to become one. But all of that changed in September 2025. I went to a robotics museum. As the door slid open, I saw something I had seen only in movies, a real robot. As I spoke my commands, its eyes glowed, and in it, I didn't just see a robot. I saw the future. And an uncomfortable realization hit me. What if I'm left behind? There was another problem. I looked Chinese, but I couldn't truly speak Chinese. Didn't understand the culture. I was in a way a stranger to my own identity. So I asked myself, how can I build the future if I don't understand where I came from? The next 2 months flew by, and our once neat and tidy house became filled with suitcases and boxes. And before long, we were flying back to Beijing. But this time, it was not a visit. I felt nervous and excited at the same time. I knew that this would change my entire future, for the better or for the worst. At the start, being in China was exciting, but very quickly, it became difficult. I remember my first day of school. I walked into the classroom timidly and understood almost nothing. My teacher was speaking, students were laughing, and in my mind I thought, are they laughing at me or someone else? Outside of school wasn't easier either. I would go into a Chinese restaurant and not understand anything on the menu. I would order randomly. Sometimes what arrived surprised me. Other times, it really surprised me. Once, I went into a Chinese restaurant without understanding a single Chinese character, and 20 minutes later, the waitress brought out a giant plate of lobster. It took a lot of explaining how I managed to spend $800 on one sitting. Let's just say Chinese menus became my biggest fear. For a while, I felt stuck. Not fully Australian anymore, but not fully part of China either. I was standing between two worlds. But something important happened. People didn't laugh at me, they helped me. My teachers were encouraging, and my peers supported me, and I slowly started to change. My Chinese improved. I became confident attending various competitions, such as TEDx. I stopped being scared of making mistakes. And I realized something. Being new is not a weakness. It's actually where growth begins. Because when you're comfortable, you don't change. But when you're unfamiliar, you are forced to adapt, to learn, to become someone new. So today, I'm no longer that timid, awkward boy sitting in the corner of the classroom. I can speak, participate, and even stand here and share my story. And I want to leave you with something. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, because sometimes starting all over again is exactly how we move forward. Sometimes, if you feel scared, confused, or even a little embarrassed, that's exactly when you are learning. So don't be afraid of being new. And hopefully, by the end of this year, I'll finally know what I'm ordering from the menu. Thank you.